I'm Jeff Wadekamper, Director of the Helena Regional Airport Authority, and what we're looking at here today is a master plan update for our airport master plan update that we're doing this year. And this is a terminal planning study. So we're kind of taking a look at our existing terminal, what we have today, and we're looking at how do you logically expand the terminal in the future, at least through the next 20 years, maybe even beyond that, beyond the 20-year parameter as well. So what we've got here, we have a level 1 plan you can see here that kind of shows options of what we would do on the first floor, from the lobby getting into queuing for security screening, which would all be on the lower level, taking elevator, stairs, and escalator up to the second floor. Then up on the second floor, we have the ability to go up to 6 gates. We'll have one of them that'll be a ground boarding option. There'll be a restaurant inside security. There'll be restrooms inside security. So everything will be kind of linear here so that you've got view from all these locations of all your gates. So people really like to have that so you don't miss your flight. People like to have visible sight of their flight. So then we have this map that shows the configuration out on the ramp of how the aircraft would park and connect to the terminal by jet bridges. So that really kind of shows expandability there. And then there's some artistic concepts here that kind of show the existing, the concept for the build out of the terminal, and then here's kind of an interior drawing of what it could look like at the full build out level. So taking that and building that into phases, we've got 4 different phases here that kind of walk us through logical breaks in the building expansion. How much would you do logically at one given time depending on the need. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the need. The need really is dependent upon a number of factors. Passenger numbers, both the total passenger numbers and any frequency at any given time, like hourly throughput. The aircraft fleet mix. We're seeing the 50-seat regional jets in the future. They're going to be going away, and the airline fleet is transferring out to larger aircraft. So that kind of dictates the positions of the jetways, the room you need on the ramp, those kinds of things. Now, the time of day in Helena, we've got in the morning we've got a big push where several flights will be here simultaneously on the ground, and then at night we'll have simultaneous flights at the same time arriving back. So even at our current passenger level, due to airline schedules and those kinds of things, there's always the possibility that those could further consolidate. And if you have more passengers and aircraft on the ground simultaneously, that's going to dictate more space, more loading bridges. So it's not necessarily just tied to the total number of passengers. So there's a number of those things that will come into play when we factor into these different phases as we move ahead down the road. We may do some of these phases in the next 2 to 5 years. Other ones may be 10 to 15, 20 years. There could be some that are beyond 20 years and maybe some that we never see, maybe ever. But the idea here is to go through this process and look at the full build out for the future so that you kind of have an idea in place of where you're going to go in the big picture, and then you can work backwards into these logical pieces. You don't want to build something in 5 years that 15 years from now you're going and tearing back out and redoing. That's not real, doesn't make real good fiscal sense to do that. So that's why we're doing this in pieces. We don't want anybody to think that we're going to go out and build a $20 million super terminal tomorrow, because at this point in time we really don't need that. But at least we're planning for when that occurs. We've kind of got some logical points in the future of how to get there. So that's what we've done. Been a great project and been a good exercise, and it'll become a part of our 20-year master plan update.